This is John. He can draw. Alright, still can't draw, but he definitely can animate. Today we continue our series dedicated to the letter C.
Cookie starts with C. Let's think
I still love cookies, but I'm talking about C for combos, baby. Alright, it's time to let John show us how it's done. Let's do it. Select your character. Jago selected. Select your mode. 3ds Max. Join Watch Me Animate on Patreon or visit Gumroad to get your Jago rig plus a 7-hour full process video for this episode. Let's begin. Standing Fierce is the second of 4 connecting moves in this combo series, and as you probably guessed, posing is the very first thing on the agenda. Do not be lazy when it comes to using references. It is 2018. You have all the tech at your disposal. This animation is 4 poses with 1 duplicate. Number 1, idle stance. Number 2, the punch. Number 3, the block. Number 4, the idle stance. With the in-betweens, idle stance number 1. Number 2, the anticipation. Number 3, the punch. Number 4, anticipation. Number 5, the block. And 6 for idle stance. Quick pass on the timing. I'll select all my keys and start spacing them out. Now, there's no exact formula when spacing out the keys. I simply select them, I move them, I hit play, and I see how it feels. You gotta feel this out. Now, I'll repeat this process a few times until I get something I feel comfortable moving forward with. Next thing I want to do is overshoot the comms F curves and make some minor adjustments on the overall timing. I'll overshoot both the translation and rotation F curves. I'll do this one axis at a time, and by preference, I'm always starting with translations first, then rotation second, never the reverse. Overshooting the F curves on the comm is the first step to adding weight to this animation. As he shifts his weight into the punch, I'll adjust the timing of his left knee pivot, reducing any sudden jerks which will cause the knee to pop. I'll also make adjustments to his right ankle as he's turning, creating a better follow through. Now, cleaning up your animation, making small incremental changes as you go should be a part of your animation workflow. Trust me, you do not want to wait till the very end to try to clean it all up. Moving on to his spine, the objective is to create more weight as he throws his punch, and the way I'll go about this is to give his chest a slight rumble using the X-axis. I like to add an IOI effect, which stands for in, out, in, to help pull this off. I'll also add this IOI effect as he blocks and as he returns back to his idle stance. Into a full body quick pass, and what this means is I'll revise the entire body, dialing in the timing and making small adjustments to tighten up the overall performance. I'll also do a little house cleaning, removing any keys along the way that no longer need to stay. You can think of it as a final prep before I enter the polish pass phase where I'll make this animation come to life. Lastly, you'll notice that I've added a target to help visualize the impact of the punch. Into polish pass we go, and my focus now shifts to adjusting the secondary animation throughout the body. Now, secondary animation is all the subtle movements your eyes may not catch but still register as you watch the animation play. More on that shortly. Now, onto his left hand and arm as he blocks, I'll reposition both, making it feel more dynamic and expressive. Second phase of the polish pass, more fine tuning on his hand at the point of impact as well as the return to idle. Now remember, it's very easy to get carried away and over animate subtle movements, which is why you should always be acting out your shot to better understand this movement whenever physically possible. It is time to animate his belt using the straight ahead approach. I follow the body language of my character and let it dictate the movement and timing of his belt. Now, some days you're animating and things move exactly how you expect. Other days you wonder what the hell is going on. Eventually you get the hang of it and it all works out. Now remember to be patient when animating using the straight ahead technique. The results are always worth it. final polish pass, I'm finishing up the bandana using the same technique to animate as the belt. But this time, I'm letting the head dictate the movement and timing. Now, the key word is patience when animating using the straight ahead method. This is the final pass, last adjustments on both the belt and the bandana. I'll close his hand just a few frames earlier. I'll add some shoulder movements as well as tightening up both arms and hands on the return to idle. Final addition will be adding a camera, and there you have it. This is the final Ryu Standing Fierce animation. Now it is time for a Watch Me Animate recap. We started off with these 6 poses, which included the in-betweens and 1 duplicate. This is the evolution of this animation from start to finish. I animated it using the layered method, starting from the calm, working my way out, small incremental changes as I worked through it, cleaning up my scene as I go and not waiting until the very end, which can get very confusing depending on the complexity of your shot. Earlier on, I talked about secondary animation, so here is a slow-mo version comparison of this Ryu Standing Fierce side by side with the Street Fighter version. You can see just how much detail goes into creating a realistic Standing Fierce. And now, a side-by-side comparison at normal speeds. And that, my friends, is how I animate a Ryu Standing Fierce from one of my favorite fighting games of all time, Street Fighter V.
Continue. 10, 9, 8. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and drop a comment below to let us know what you think. Watch Me Animate honors the following patrons for their support. Game over.